moment, let me.
No worries.
It's kind of strange. I tried to log in.
Can you not log into the GitHub?
I used to have this passkey login, but now it's asking me to log in with a password. So I just don't know how do I kind of show the multiple login option, the sign-in option. There are different sign-in options, right? But this time you only allow me to sign in with password.
Right. No, that's a GitHub thing.
Yeah, maybe they just, let me see. Okay, let me sign in with mine. Okay, now it lets me sign in now. Okay, let me share screen. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm open up bridge here. Yeah, we have a big pull request here. So it's basically the Stella has been changing their APIs for the new version. So we ended up modify 25 files for this release to make it compatible. So we just update a lot of things. Yeah.
Don't worry, that's not big. When our things get to like 2,000 files, we start moaning. It's someone's PR is too big.
Okay, yeah. I went through some a lot of it last night, and I think we are good to go. So do you? I can open it up here. Uh, yeah, it's just like some of these version changes from 1 to 2, and then yeah, multi-sig show. And this is making the we make it add one more node to it, and then yeah, there's some changes, adding some checks here, some functions here, ASCII to hex, and then changing some of the names here. It's kind of minor changes, and there are other changes related to like dependency here changes too. Yeah, so I went through a lot of these. I think it seems to be fine. So what do you think? Should we just checking in because we need to have
Is
test data? Yeah.
is this the same thing that is listed in the EEA?
Yeah, no, it doesn't have the one that you changed. We don't have that yet. That part doesn't change. This is changes related to Stella chain.
Yeah, I'm talking about the Stella part that's in the EEA. That's exactly this kind of stuff that I feel is a bit, we need to clean it up a little bit in that. So I just wanted to think about or ask if I can use this as a reference to see what you implemented. But you say that it's not quite there yet.
No, we implemented that doesn't change. That part still doesn't change. The SCADA interface that one still not changed yet. You can still refer to it, and that has a lot of information as well. But one thing that is not 100% sure is that I did not review side by side with the current status EA spec. We have not kind of look at it side by side yet. Okay, but I can definitely look at that side by side, and you can look at it too. You can, I
Yeah,
think
this is what
that
I'm saying. Like what somebody or whoever put it in there, it needs to be cleaned up. And I have no reference other than what somebody put in there because I'm not familiar with Stella so much. So I just wanted to, if I wanted to go back to an implementation, you say this one is working.
yeah, this one is working. Definitely, it's working. Yeah.
Yeah, I approved. I think you can merge it if
Okay.
you. Okay, cool. So
Yeah.
I'll fall back on this. Statistics.
Okay, I'll merge it, and then that's one thing because the team, at least they told me that because last week I was pushing them saying that they got to check in now, and then they told me that it's working. So let me, and one thing I want to do is, of course, is to run this one, make sure that it works. So let me see if you merge, you approve it.
I did, yeah. So you should be able to merge. Go back to the pull request. Oh, right. Bottom.
I'm in pull request right now.
Yeah, I see. You can see there in the right hand side. I did. Wait.
Right. Oh,
I
merge.
did it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Cool. Well, that's good. And now look at it. So that's one item that we need to go through. And then then there are two more items here. So this meetup, right? So at this time, I agreed with them that I'll join their cacti team on November. And then we have a separate seminar on Smoot on December or January. I'm doing this December, but I just put it here. So you won't be available, right? December. So
No,
we're
no,
okay.
no.
Okay. So
But
well,
if you have to do in December, you go for it, Vija. It's
okay.
we will help you, or I will help you as far as I can, with whatever.
Yeah.
We need to present, and we can even pull in somebody from Iron Builders, which is sort of more representative of Adara, that wants to, if they want to become involved here, because it's quite a bigger company now, right?
Yeah.
We
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'll talk to David and see what he thinks. Yeah. I think most likely he will push it to January. Yeah. Because
all
this is
right.
a monthly thing, right? So I'll just talk to him later. And then for this ERC 3643 support here, I did not put the pull request here. We actually have some code already. And the first thing is that we deploy the ERC 3643 on one chain. Actually, it actually works with deployments. Okay. And then we have some thoughts on that one. So I just put it here. I'm going to go through with you and see what you think. Okay. So basically, we want to issue a RWA token on chain A. And then we want to purchase that RWA token. And this is the ERC 3643 from chain B. Right? Suppose I have Ether in the Ethereum blockchain, and I have a RWA token on one chain. Right? We want to buy it. And we look at it, we probably need to do two steps, two cross-chain. First cross-chain is that we want to have on chain A, which is the RWA token, we need to have this is verified function here for user A on chain B for RWA token on chain A, which means that if I want to buy it from Ethereum blockchain, I need to verify to one chain saying that I am kind of a permissioned user. So I am going to do a cross-chain verification call on chain A through chain B. And then I'm going to say that I'm this user with this address, and I want to get permission. So, and then that thing will verify it on this chain B, and then the relayer will pass the verification to
You have
chain
to
B.
add a function there because
Yeah.
isn't that sort of something like that? It feels to me it should be built in
Yeah,
with.
it is Boolean, but that Boolean is not cross-chain. So this is verified is a cross-chain is verified, and this one will call the embedded function in will call the embedded function in ERC 3643. We'll call it.
So this is actually just an on-chain ID thing, really, to see that you. Oh, okay, no, it's a compliance. Also,
Yeah,
yeah, okay.
compliance. Yeah, compliance checking. Yeah,
So it's actually is compliant, not really is verified.
is verified. Will call is compliant. Yeah, you can name it differently. Yeah.
So I am compli. I am verified to make a cross-chain call. Period. No, nothing more. Okay, I think I got it.
Yeah. And then once this verified, it's going to put the record on chain B saying that this user is allowed to buy token of RWA on chain A. It will put the record over there. There's a smart contract. This customized smart contract will have a record on that. And then once we have a record saying that I'm allowed, this address is allowed to buy stuff on chain A, then on chain B, then you can have a buy function saying that I want to spend this amount of money to
So this is
buy.
not like an approve to you, like I say, like I am verified to spend this much tokens. No, or it's just in general, I am do all the compliant checks out that I can buy, but no, not how much really.
Yeah, correct. How much is decided by the balance of that
Yeah.
user account. So that, yeah, it's just to, yeah, that approval will be done. Approval or amount should be treated separately. That has nothing to do with compliance. Maybe you're right. Maybe our chain that is verified is compliant. Let me come here.
Now I thought like maybe you can keep it like an similar to a ERC approve, right? Like so you say like because you make a record on the chain B, it as long as it doesn't go like sort of out sync, like suddenly I write on chain B that I am compliant and then compliant rules change and then it's out of sync. Or if I use an amount and saying this guy is allowed, like ERC allowed to spend so much, and I store it on the other chain, um, and then it changes. So it's a bit of a even like not even just amounts or allowances, but also compliance rules can change here.
Yeah, you bring up a good point because then there may be a valid time needed, right? Because well, some of the compliances could be like monthly, some of it could be daily, uh, and I just don't think it should be in 2 minutes. The compliance is valid for 2 minutes. It should be at least for one day, right? Uh,
And
what do you
and
think? Yeah.
and they can't. What I mean is they can't change it, right? Compliance, you can't change somewhere in between. Can they go and say like, no, this is blacklisted, it's no longer compliant, and then the other chain wouldn't know?
This is one I just added here. Should we add a valid time for the compliance?
Yeah, but even if you do that, I mean, even if you said put in a valid time there for according to the compliance rules, is there a override that can make it not valid anymore?
Yeah, there is because I think the way it works is that in this ERC 3643, every time you do a transaction, you need to verify that compliance, right? So it's doing it in real time, and
Yes,
then
yes. This one makes me scared that you're storing things that's supposed to be real time, cross-chain data.
yeah. So what I'm saying here is that some of the compliance is kind of lasting a long time. And some of these like because any policy just cannot be kind of like on daily basis. Even if pass a law, right? You still have a valid time. You just cannot say that. Well, even Congress sign it, the president sign it, there's still normally a 6 months compliance time to make it compliance. It just cannot be effective immediately.
Oh,
Right.
okay. We can ignore the fact that they can change compliance without the chain knowing, I guess, for now.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that maybe we can add a valid time over there. For this means
Just
that because, right?
just to catch timing, like something that legitimately expires. You know, if you
Yeah,
know that
yeah. Okay. Let's do this. Let's do add the expiration time.
expiry.
Yeah. And then if no expiration time, it can be like a default like a time period, such as a day, such as 24 hours. And this will give enough time for the cross-chain transaction to go through, right?
Okay.
So that means that the second call, right? So once you verify it, then the second call, the buy function, should be called within 24 hours. And then in this buy, the when user X want to buy a token RWA in chain A, they just need to verify on chain B saying that, hey, there's a record of this user being approved for compliance. And then we're going to have a cross-chain transaction buy to call that on chain B. And this can be,
Right.
yeah.
So you only have ERC on one chain, on one, like on a single chain. I mean, like it's not on the other
Correct,
chain. Okay, I see
correct.
now what you're doing. You're actually syncing compliance here. Who's gonna allow this to go through, like compliancy wise? Um, so like you say like one side is all good, it's compliant, and now we're
Yeah,
doing interop with the side that is not.
correct.
So the whole compliancy falls flat.
Yeah, this is the beauty of a cross chain, right? So basically, but there's a, what do you mean by for fact? The thing is that we only need to verify, just want to have centralized verification, right? And then we can cross chain that verification to the other chain. We don't need to maintain like this compliance for
I see,
every
I
chain.
see. I see
Yeah.
what you mean. If you can like efficiently maintain it, but there's already the problem now with the timing and things that can expire. But I don't know how ERC 3643 works. Hopefully you can put in there some sort of rule that says that, you know, it can only legitimately expire legally, you know, that not without the other chain knowing. And if that happens, if it's overwritten, then you have an action that must be going and it must be updated. But I also understand what you're saying. Is like if you have all this compliance stuff on one chain, in on a single chain, you might want to sync it to another chain and use it there and do things with it. As long as you can
Yeah.
make sure
Well,
it doesn't go out of
okay.
sync.
Well, you bring up a very good point here. So, like, if compliance on chain A changes, should this compliance be
I would also
detected?
emit an event in that case that will automatically be must be carried through to the other chain. You know, like
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. To be detected and passed to chain B to update the record. So there's something question here, but this needs to be a service, right? Because if I
yes,
deploy a smart contract, and then I need to let the relay know that I want to have this compliance synchronization service. So this basically a compliance synchro synchronization
organizations, yes, service.
service over there. Yeah. So let me make a comment over there. You know
Well,
what?
if
Yeah,
you think about like Canton works with these global synchronizations between ledgers, like they are chain of chains, right? So
yeah.
they're sort of doing what you're describing here anyway. You know, so as long as those synchronization services are happy and making sure edge cases cannot occur, then it's not a unheard of thing, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And the challenge is that this need to be smart contract specific, meaning that if I deploy a smart contract and if I do not allow my status or my compliance status to be updated by the relayer, then there's nobody can update that, right? So I need to write that in. So that's something we need to kind of maybe even mention that we can have a like update compliance status and you take in an address and then taking a new status saying that um, kind of how to revoked, right? Revoked or sometimes or actually that's a good point now thinking about it. It could be rejected, right? And then later on you find that hey, this is not a blacklist. This should be allowed. And then you need to update that to make it
Oh, you mean
valid.
like a polling service in some sense? Like it will always go ask, "Am I still verified? Am I still verified? Or did something change? Did something change and update it?" Rather than, I would rather wait for an event when something change. As long as we can listen for events, because you know when a compliance rule change, there should be an event. Period. Right?
But that one, yeah, then we need to think about that because here, that's a good point. Because the compliance rule will change, right? That doesn't mean they want to scan all the address because suppose you have 10,000 address, and then you have compliance rule change, right? You cannot just
Paul.
scan all
No,
these 10. No, you
no,
cannot.
no,
So I don't think there will be like
no.
event something. But one thing that can be done is that if there's a per address change, if there's what we can design is something like if there's a per address change, then you can update the address. But it's a policy change. I don't think you can update every address.
No, no, no. But there should be an event notifying you of that policy change,
Good
right?
point. That's a good point. Okay. That's a
And
good
this is
point.
normally how we feel or how we try to synchronize validator updates. Like when suppose one ledger's validators change, an event
Uh-huh.
is emitted, and then you can build a proof around that event and pass it on to the other remote chains, all of those remote chains that to go and update their validator sets. Otherwise, they're out of sync. You know, they can't validate
Yeah.
proofs. So it's about the same thing here that I would do here with compliance. So sort of like I would keep my validator set on my remote set updated, I will have to keep my ERC3 whatever compliance updated on the other chain. And I will build this definitely in an automatic thingy, and like one chain systems use different verification schemes, right? It doesn't need to be block headers. So you can verify in a different way.
Okay. 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 There should be an event emitted when there is a policy change in the compliance. And when this event is emitted, the this subscription service or this monitoring subscription will detect and update the compliance
The
on
remote
the other
compliance.
chain. Yeah, on other remote chains. How about that? Well, we're
Yes, yes.
getting there. Wow, we are so good. Uh, we saw this as a kind of a chaotic state, and then it's very vague, and then we kind of make it very clear now. Wow, that's
Well,
good.
I would always say like, detect and update. That update should come with a cryptographic signature or a proof or something. But you use relayers that's trusted, right? With one chain.
Yeah, the
So
trust. Yeah, yeah. Well, they yeah, now it's okay, more complex now. If this is assuming
because you can build a blockade proof around that event. right? And when you
Uh-huh.
update your compliance on the other side, you could just use the EA specs directly to call your compliance system, right? To say
Yeah,
that to update your remote chain to say that it is compliant on the other one.
yeah, yeah. I think there's only
This is
uh
exactly how we did remote validator updates. Is we use the, this is actually to update the connector contracts so that we can do the EEA messaging protocol, but we're also using that protocol to update it. So we will also
yeah,
make a blockheader proof to update validators on all remote chains because we have a validator set contract, So we know when validators change, we emit an EEA event and we automatically build a proof around it and pass it over to the other side, which goes and say update validator set on you have to track your remote chains, right? So
yeah,
you're gonna have to be able to check your or the way you they say on the remote chains, you have to track your destination chains.
yeah. I have then there's a potential issue here while I'm thinking about this. Suppose you have on the remote chain, right? You have 10,000 records, but you only have like 100 users using, right? And then the other 9,900 are not using it. And then you don't want to update those records, right? The update of records should be demand based, not like a brute force update, and because that would consume a lot of
Well,
gas.
then you go out of sync and you don't know when you're missing. The event was emitted to tell you that an update happened, and you ignored it because you thought it was too much. It's sort of a lazy update. I
Yeah.
would update it immediately. I wouldn't leave it because how would that chain then know? Now it has to go check. Do I need an update when I want to be used? There shouldn't be that many chains, right? Um,
Well, they
but
are, right? Because the or should we just update saying that maybe okay that I think that's good because blindly update everything in that record, right? It's kind of huge. I was thinking maybe just have have an option saying that policy change on this day, and then which means that it the the record. But if you want to do transaction, you need to re-verify, and that's kind of user-based
But you're
rather
still
than
going to have to do an update for every one of those contracts saying you're no longer valid.
yeah, true
Yeah,
for everyone.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that could be a standalone thing, right? Because that there could be a kind of interface smart contract or smart library smart contract that oh no, library. Yeah, it could be a kind of base smart contract called by other smart contract, a standalone compliance smart contract or remote compliance smart contract. And there's only one for that, and then you can have others calling it.
I'm not so familiar with the interfaces that ERC gives, but maybe. Um, like you say, you're adding more a storage right at the moment on the
Yeah,
on the other side, and you have no on-chain ID here, right? So there's
no
no
on-chain
there's
idea, no
no
on-chain idea. Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
that I think that identity is sort of important to the system, and I think you're going to have to sync them somehow. um, yeah, right. Uh,
yeah. That's a good point.
you,
That's a good point. There should be a mapping.
because it must be a mapping. There's always a mapping. And this is why we're trying to get some sort of identity mapping in our own contracts. We don't want to do a contract for each identity. It's a bit rough for us. But we want to bring in something like, decentralized identity. It's already built into Web3 wallets. So and here they have on-chain ID, but there's always a mapping needed, no matter what you do. If you go from a USD token to a GBP token, there's a mapping of accounts. If you go in a trade from Corda to Ethereum, there's a mapping of accounts. If you go from Onera FinP2P to Ethereum token accounts, there's a mapping of accounts. So there's always those remote mappings that a finality came back to us and said like this is too much maintenance for them. Change it. So we started looking at maybe having a registry for identities that we ledger wise that we can also remotely update with a proof.
Uh,
So and they wanted ZKP certificates. So they
what?
want, oh,
Okay.
Fernando, can get so crazy, but it's doable. I actually told them that it's a good idea. If you, I'm just not going to build the circuits. It is actually already out there. They already built circuits to verify a normal certificate.
So the when you mention about the registry service, right? This is going to be on chain, right? It's not going like
Yes.
yeah, on chain. And which chain you are considering? Yeah, are you considering EVM chain that's put it over there? That other chains call it?
For us, because we're working with an Ethereum chain, we were looking at the registry for, but you busy with ERC, they have their own on-chain, right? They have on-chain
Yeah,
ID, which is
yeah.
their thing. And you say that's only on one network, and I'm not sure how you're going to sync that. You're gonna like, because they have a contract for every identity, and they have a whole way of how they deploy it on different chains, right? So they almost deploy those contracts on many chains, I think, chains.
Yeah.
I'm not sure actually. I will have to go look on exactly how on-chain ID works.
Okay, okay. Yeah. So let me think the registry service as well.
Oh, they have a registry, as far as I know.
Yeah. So let me look at that. Can see.
Because
Yeah.
policies is linked to the chain ID, right? Or to the identity on that chain. So
Yeah, it's
your
a on-chain ID, yes. Yeah.
mm.
So I think I think one thing that need to be done is the on-chain ID versus remote address, remote chain address. I think if we can map that, have a way
Yeah,
to
we
map
call it
that.
remote
Yeah,
identity mappings. Yeah, we always had it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
We did it for trades, right? So it sat in our XVP contract, our tradable contract, which will keep a mapping of these. Uh, it was not clean at all. Don't take that solution. A registry is much
Oh,
cleaner.
okay.
Foreign
Yeah,
to local identity, foreign to local identity mappings.
yeah. So we have that. We actually have a some smart contract on another location already. So I'm not porting it right now because that is yeah, we have this already by one of our developers. So we have that somewhere already. But I'm kind of reluctant to port it in right now. Uh, so I do it.
Oh, wait. So you wrote a little sample thingy with orders. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, we have that already. Yeah,
Yeah, you're
yeah. This
gonna have
is yeah. So it's kind of we can have a buy something there, buy something, and then sell something that with RWA when this RWA is in compliance. So once I have that clean up, I can add more details here. But that one is just for single chain. It's not for the core chain. So we need to do the core chain for that.
Oh, right. I get what you're
Yeah.
saying. What asset are you, a cash as a real world asset? What did you think of that
Oh,
order? What are you going to use?
we don't know yet. This will be more business like partners, BD doing that work with partners. Let's see how things go. I know did you mentioned last time that you do real estate, but I think that will be extremely difficult.
No, no,
Uh,
no, no. This was 7 years ago that I wrote up a paper for a South African real estate blockchain. This was
uh,
way before its time, and to get the South African government to do anything, it's like I was so naive. So no, 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 not real estate. IO Boulder or the company that we merged with did something for real estate, something block. But no, and the thing I'm doing sort of on the side, which is I must be careful not to mix it with the Dara, for
uh,
IP sake. But that is digital product passports. So this is your things like your solar batteries, your lithium, your rubber, your
Uh-huh.
cacao, those kind of things, to just have a digital that by law, by 2030, that needs to be in place. Everything has to have a digital product passport. And it's kicking in, it's starting to take in effect under 2020 or next year, and the end of this year actually. And then it must be implemented by 2030. So it's coming, it's there, it's like, and it's just like such a, all the DLT solutions is there. They must really just put it on a blockchain, and please don't go the right bespoke systems and all kinds of things. But they give you a nice standard of what that digital product, what that digital passport looks like. So that is where you go and issue real world assets, you know, your products, whatever it would be, whether it'll be the lithium or the medicinal plant or the cacao or the rubber or something, and you go issue that real world assets. Um, and for that, I also decentralized identity, DID, and then ZKPs, because you don't want all information to be published. And that is in Web3 wallets. This is not the bleeding edge stuff. This is so like tested to the end of the oblivion. They should really just use it. But the blockchain world is not really into that section yet so much. So there's still just people saying, "Oh, it's a good idea, it's a good idea," but no one goes and do it.
Oh,
Mhm.
and this the digital product passport, is it
It's
a South African thing or is this a
no,
global
it's a
thing?
European thing. It's
Oh,
a European Union. Yeah, you can just put in digital product passport. It's a big thing.
already, then how come Europeans have so many regulations? In the US, I have never heard of it. And yeah, it's kind of strange.
Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, wow. But is South Africa in compliance with EU at all, or did it just you are doing this for EU's
um,
EU thing?
This is, well, this is more, I'm doing it, and it's not even that they're enforcing it for plants, but because I'm doing like a clinical certification in herbal medicine. So I'm kind of in that world anyway, and I'm just trying to bring my worlds together, trying to bring my blockchain experience to that world. So again, I see something that it fits. It's such a beautiful use case, and somebody must just go build it. And then they tell me, on the other hand, just apply for funding, write it up, and get it done, which I will do over December. You'll get funding for it so that you can go and build it. It's someone like
Oh.
they don't have a lot of blockchain people in that world, I don't think. But there is already, they put South African diamonds on a blockchain.
Yeah, that
Uh,
one is, I know that a long time ago. Yeah, that has a huge value, right? But only problem is that when the diamond is produced, how do you do the first step verification, right? How do you kind of bring that on chain? That's the challenge. Because people
well,
can
this is
cheat
what
over there.
the no, they well, you can every diamond has a signature that they can scan. You can tell that diamond apart from all others. So they have a, this is one thing in a digital product passport also. Um, every product must have a unique code. So this is QR codes, and everything uses QR codes already. So that's, you pretty much scan it like you would scan a DEFCON ticket, right? So this
Oh,
is,
okay.
yeah, it's and there must still be trust, like issuers for cash. It would be the same thing. It must be issued in a um, trustable way. But because the product is actually there, it's not minted out of thin air. You have a better traceable record. It's it is still a very boots on the ground solution. It's not just DLT and cash and digital things. It's also the real world asset. Also
Oh,
orchids. They have a whole blockchain for orchids to track orchids and sell orchids. Flowers. A
okay.
big market.
Yeah, in China there used to be a kind of token issue for tea, for a kind of tea, and it did not go well because the token price went up dramatically, and after a while it crashed. It's just
Uh,
like for a special tea, and they say that tea is wonderful, but the end they are, it just cannot hold it. because there are so many fake teas, and then there's no
This is the
kind of,
whole
yeah, yeah.
This is the whole problem as well with the medicinal plants is there is a need to make this a little bit more trackable because you never know what you buy. Even when I buy medicinal plants, like I got some of it tested and some of it's contaminated and there's some other things in there and you really need this trackable record for products because you otherwise you just don't know. And even the things,
Yeah.
the herbs that you buy today on the shelf, I promise you, if you go test them, half of the stuff is not what they say is in there. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah. But I think that one, remember, IBM and Walmart has a joint project for tracing product source, right?
Yes, yes.
That's yeah,
This is the same thing. There's also a deforestation for the cacao regulation that's coming in. So they must say on every product where that cacao comes from so that they can say it is not, it didn't destroy a forest. This is also end of the year starting to kick in. So there is massive use cases for these things. Um, and there are so many places where you can go tokenize real world assets now that it's really, there's no excuse for me anymore why these things are not on a blockchain and made like as easy as it is to issue and scan a DEFCON ticket. Like it was, that was even proven with ZKPs that you can prove that you have this ticket without revealing any of your information. So you can prove that this product come from wherever without revealing any of the sales information if you don't want to. So this is
yeah.
sort of a half white paper thingy that I started writing up and then realized I need to wait, well, until I'm on leave to finish it, or I might have an IP issue with the DORA.
Yeah, and the when you say that get funded, does your government or EU have some funding for that, or are you looking for government funding, or you're looking for kind of private sector funding?
This is more like for the medicinal plants, it comes from your pharmaceutical companies that has the money. And they, like the banks, they will run the nodes to keep themselves honest and to have that label saying that we are compliant and all those kind of things. So it will be your big producers that runs nodes, not your harvesters, not the guys that there's, it's very low resource on that side. Your cacao beans, that these factories that gathers all these massive cacao beans will probably be the issuer, right?
I see.
That issue these, but there is definitely enough big shots in that chain of command that there should not be a problem with funding.
I
It
see.
is,
So
it's
this is
again,
almost like a either VC funding or like a corporate funding. It's not a
yes.
government because yeah, in the US there's something called SBIR. Like SBIR stand for Small Business Innovation Research. I think the
Oh,
way you describe seems to be fitting into this SBIR, which means that the government will provide you like I'm not sure what's the amount like 250K for 1 year work. They
oh,
don't,
that's
yeah. And what's interesting is that they don't take a stake or the take stake of your company. Like a lot of time, if you go to uh, like a Y combination, right, they take you 12% of your company, and then they give you like 500K. Uh, but the U.S. government don't take that as the stake, and they just give you that money for the phase one. It's 250, I think it's 250K right now. And then if it goes well, you can apply for phase two. That's about a million for that. And
do you have a link or just a name? Can you just type that I don't hear you wrong? Because it's also America. I must now be careful. But I don't. I haven't. It's just the EU regulation that I thought could drive it. Say again. What's the name of the initials that you say? The
SBIR,
ESP.
no,
What?
SBIR. Let me send it to you.
SBI.
SBIR. This is very big.
Oh, SBIRC. Yeah. Okay.
Is
Thank
my
you.
American English that bad?
Well, I sometimes don't hear you so well. Um, Thank you. A B can sound like a P sometimes.
Okay.
It's
Yeah, this is huge because I think you need to look at something compatible because SBIR, every U.S. agency from Department of Defense to DARPA to Department, we don't have Department of Education anymore, Department of Transportation, Department of Energy has SBIR. And then I think this kind of research would probably go to National Science Foundation. They have a blockchain, the DLT initiative, and then they support like use cases for blockchain, and then there should be some innovation and some practical use. Okay,
oh, thank you.
so
I will definitely. This is sort of something I will look over December. Thank you very much. I will definitely look at this. I must finish the light paper or just finish it up properly before I can send off to people like this. But thank you. That's definitely one I'll put on the list.
yeah, and you can learn a
That's
lot.
not bad. Like, I mean, with cheap labor to the rest of the world in South Africa, right? So I can
Yeah,
do a lot with 250K.
yeah. And what's good thing about the SBIR, it had, Qualcomm is a huge company, right? It used to be SBIR in SBIR program a
All right.
long time
Yeah.
ago. And then they were saying that SBIR people is saying that if you look at the investment, okay, the fact that we support the Qualcomm kind of make it kind of profitable already for all the spend money and all the money we spend on other companies. All the other company doesn't need to succeed. You just need to have one or two companies as your big
Yes,
company
but this is
succeed.
how investors argue, right?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
such
yeah.
I'm such a bad investor. Like I will cry about the one that failed, and not see that two of them did amazing and they made up for all the losses of the others. I'm terrible investor. I know you have to have lots of guts for failure. I don't take failure.
Yeah. And the thing, if you look at that, you can see here's something you can, if you go to National Science Foundation project and then you look at the digital asset, the DLT, decentralized ledger technology, they're going to see, they're going to describe what kind of things they want to support and what things they have supported. All these are kind of open knowledge, right? So they have even published the project they have supported.
Yes, because
Uh,
I can see if it fits into a box there. Oh, thank you, Vijay. That
yeah,
helps a lot. Yeah.
yeah. So you can look at that, and there are some restrictions, of course. You need to be on the U.S. side. Normally, it require if it's kind of taking fund from U.S. government, you need to have a U.S. citizen. You need to be a U.S. citizen or
Yeah,
permanent
this is where
resident.
I think.
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
This is
permanent
why I think
resident.
I'm going to have to be careful and see if America will buy into this. But we also have credibility, right? So
Yeah.
the same thing with Pete, and we can use what we've done for finality as credibility because we have built that system and it is running really well. So it is.
Okay.
It's also something. But it's not like I'm coming like a student out of nowhere and have no credibility. So Adara will definitely back me up in it from the back with credibility. I can just not do it on their time.
Okay. Well, here's the case. Okay, if you try to go that route, and then if you, there's a guy in South Africa. Actually, he's very kind of into small business over there. Yeah, once you decide to go forward with that, maybe I can introduce you.
All
Uh,
right. So
yeah.
did he go SBIR or did he go through the National Science Foundation?
No. He is investing in small business in South
Oh,
Africa.
right. Okay.
Yeah, he
Oh,
even
yeah.
invested in barber shops. Using
Yeah, like
blockchain.
South African people are hardworking and they like last weekend they canceled the marathon. The South Africans strapped up their tuckies and they ran it anyway. This is the kind of people that we are. Very
Yeah,
resilient. So you won't
yeah,
you must be careful where you invest, but there is a lot of talent in South Africa that it's just hard for us to find a gap,
yeah.
in general, because our government is very bad, very, very bad.
Okay. Yeah, good talking to you. Anything else? I think we can close this one. Yeah, I'm going to next one I'm going to pull in some 3643 code into here. Maybe make it a pull request, and then we can discuss it over here next time. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Great talking to you, Meredith. Yeah.
Same. Thank you, Richard,
Yeah.
for the
Okay.
advice.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.